BFD has released the free BFD Player, which comes with a, in my opinion, very cool core drum library. Now, having a free drum library by a developer seems too good to be true, and you're not entirely wrong with the BFD Player. One of the goals for this free player is of course to get the users to buy the available expansions. More on those later in this video. You start with the free player and its core library by simply loading a preset. A slight point of annoyance is that the second rack tom is higher than the first one. I cannot really handle that being a drummer myself. The core library of BFD Player is pretty restricted in choices. It is one drum kit which consists of 3 cymbals, 1 kick, 1 snare, 3 toms, hi-hat and a ride. But I have to remind myself that this is part of the free plugin. All drums and cymbals come with a ton of articulation for each sound. This core library sounds pretty versatile. Let's go over the included presets with one programmed drum groove. All changes in presets are created by having a different balance of all instruments and added effects. You can see how exactly these balances are and change them in the mixer of BFD Player. Every sound has its own fader and you have a couple of rooms and buses. The 4 included effects are global, and these can be used for overall sound shaping as you heard with the presets. It does give a nice variety in sounds. Which effects these 4 are will change based on whichever preset you have chosen. So the workflow is you choose a preset you like and tweak from there. It will, of course, not be great if you want to really dial in a sound and dive in per instrument. Fortunately, BFD Player has full multi-output support. You're not stuck with the effects of BFD Player this way. And if your DAW supports it, I recommend you go this route. With a little bit of compression, you can quickly beef up the sound. How far you want to go with this is up to you. BFD at least will give you a separate bus for every instrument, so you can mix these drums like any other standard recording. Full disclaimer, I got a pre-release copy of InMusic, but they don't sponsor and all opinions are my own. The sponsor of this video is DistroKid. Cover songs is probably one of the many types of songs you would love to do, but uploading to a streaming platforms is always a hassle due to copyrights and required fee because you cover an original song. DistroKid makes this very easy for you by offering the option to do this all for you for $12 per song per year when you have a DistroKid subscription. Use my link in the description to get 7% off of your first year on a DistroKid. BFD Player comes with a ton of MIDI grooves, which you can all preview in the player. The browser for these MIDI loops will give you a ton of options to find the right loop for you and also let you favorite them. If you found a nice one, drag and drop the loop on your MIDI track. What I can appreciate, especially with these loops being made for acoustic drums, is that there is already humanization happening in the MIDI loops, as you can see. It is a lot easier to quantize loops to be precisely on the grid than to add in proper variations for groove and feel. At the start of this video I mentioned that this plugin also exists to sell expansions. And at this point of time there are two available for around $30. London 70s, which is a 2.8 GB download, and Dark Mahogany, which is close to 10 GB in download. This is how Dark Mahogany sounds. And this is London 70s. With Dark Mahogany I would absolutely use the multiple outputs to tweak the sounds more. Especially the toms don't sound convincing enough to me. London 70s sounds far more vibey and spot on for me. Now with these expansions and the core library, you can mix and match all of the drums and cymbals these have on offer. Again, I would start with the sound or preset you like and replace any of the cymbals and drums if you think that's needed. With these paid expansions, I think it would be nice to have some extra functionality, like for instance a tune option. As far as the free BFD player goes, you should absolutely download it in my opinion. The core sounds are good, and especially with the multi-output option you have a proper drum library at your disposal. Of the two paid expansions, I liked London 70s the best. I think it's safe to say that new expansions will come in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.